Greetings and welcome. Got a 20-acre property close to the Colorado River for sale. I'm asking $9,900 or $200 down, $200 a month for 99 months. Let's go to Google Earth to show you where this property is. If I zoom out a little bit, so this is the GPS coordinates to the center of the property. There's a wash that runs through the corner of the property that I believe you can drive up and down to access this. I'm not 100% sure about that, but that's my belief. I've never been to the property, so I'm not sure. The Colorado River is right here, just off to the side of this property. The property does not run along the border of the Colorado River. There's another property in between, but at the end of this wash, it's government land. I'm guessing you can use the wash to access the river, cross the government land to do so, but that would be up to you. So here's a picture of that someone took down here, probably looking at this island of the river. Give you an idea what it looks like down there at sunset. If you zoom out a little bit more, there's other pictures of the river. People have taken pictures there. Here's a picture looking north. And so these mountains, I believe, are the mountains that this property is in. I'm not exactly sure, but just looking at it, I'd assume so or guess so. Let's zoom out some more. Let's zoom way out and show you where we're at, and then zoom back in. So this is the 40. This is Route 40 that cuts across east-west. It's LA to Flagstaff would be the LA to the west and Flagstaff to the east. So Southern California, we're on the California side of the Colorado River border, and we're really, really close to the Colorado River. We're close to Lake Havasu City on the other side of the river, but Lake Havasu, like the actual lake, is just south of this. So the property's up here. And down the river a little bit to the lake, up the river a little bit is that big white bridge. Let me show you a picture of the bridge. There's a big bridge. If you've ever driven through here, that's a bridge to remember. It does not look like it fits into the natural landscape of the area. So that's where this property is. Let's see if I can show some more boundaries. I mean, I think that the higher topography is over here. Maybe you can take a tour around this mountain. And there's some farming to the north, and the river is over here to the east, and the property, let's see if I can figure it out. It's going by over here somewhere is the actual property, and you can see the river and the state border, and so this mountain gets pretty tall back behind the property, but this is an idea of the area. These are the mountains behind the property. So as we'll go all the way around, it'll come back to the river over here. But here's the highway. I believe it's Highway 95 that you turn off of and start getting creative on accessing this property. I would highly recommend four-wheel drive and a grand sense of adventure to try to drive to this property. It might be easier to use your boat. Go up the river and get off at, I believe it's called Mojave Wash, that little island there. Just off to the side of this. I think this wash is Mojave Wash. I saw that somewhere. This is Mojave Wash, comes out here, and there's a little island and a point. So if you're traveling the river, this point and that island, if you go up that wash, you can get to this property. So let's look at some other pictures of property lines. So here's the property lines of this property. Here's that wash I'm talking about. This is government land over here. This stuff along the river is government land, but there is private property between you and the government land. There's no one around. I'll leave that up to you. But that's what it looks like. And if we look at some other maps, like if we go into Google Maps and we put the GPS coordinates of the center of this property into Google Maps, you can see the property lines of this property. And before you go try to walk the lines and figure out where this property is, go on here and click on the corners. You can pull up GPS coordinates of the corners pretty darn close where the four corners of this property are. And I would highly recommend downloading that kind of app you get on your phone that you can see the actual GPS coordinates of where you're standing before you go to this property or any like it. There's free ones, and you know it's really easy to put on your phone before you go and make sure you know these coordinates before you go, because your cell phone might not be able to download stuff once you get out there, but you can still read the numbers as you walk around off of the GPS calculations that your phone will do, and you can figure out where the property lines are and if you want this thing or how to use it. That's a good way to know the lay of the land. So I'd highly recommend figuring that out before you go. Here we go, Mojave Wash. So on Google Maps, it shows the name of that as Mojave Wash, and here's government land. Another thing that's kind of interesting is this is all government property along the river. There's just this one little nook here of private property, and this piece is nestled up close to it, but that wash, that that low spot in there that I would use to try to access the property is mostly government property. I mean, you go a little in through private property to get to it, but that's probably your best bet of accessing it. And if you follow this Mojave Wash out to the road, it looks like there's 4x4 tracks in it. I mean, you can't see on this map, but maybe I can show you on some other maps. I was looking at Google Earth and multiple maps and zooming in on that wash, and it looks like this might not be I might not be able to do it on the fly, but if you zoom into this wash and you follow it, and in the shade it's hard to see, but the sunny spots mean it's a sandy bottom to this wash going way out into the desert, and it looks like there's truck tracks or four-wheel tracks, off-road tracks. And I was looking around on the internet for Mojave Wash and truck trails and off-road trails and things, and you get a lot of pictures, and it seems like people drive this as an adventure to go get to the river. This is like your route to drive to the river, if you want to off-road it and truck it over there and be on your own. Some of the websites I was reading said the flies are pretty nasty here in the spring, so it's not a good spot to camp. But the rest of the time, you can drive up there and you can go right into the river, and it's a great spot to go. So never exactly know what you read on the internet, it's going to be real or not, but that's some of what I was reading. So here's some Google Maps trying to figure out this location, this little nook here that's private property up to the river, or the rest of it's parkland north and south. This little corner is, if you can get out of here to the road and go out the 40 and down, you can get to Lake Havasu City. Lake Havasu City is really coming alive. Lots of people are building and going there. I think Arizona State University even put a campus there. I mean, the place is growing. It's happening, and it's 35 minutes away as the crow flies for the first little part, but then get up to the road, 35 minutes, just under 30 miles away. Needles, California is closer. It's like 15 minutes away as the crow flies for the first hair of it, but then you just get on 40 and shoot up there. You can get groceries, gas, supplies. I mean, there's all this stuff you need to live off of is there. Or Home Depot is, Walmart, stuff like that. It's in Lake Havasu City, but Needles has the basics. Here's some pictures of Lake Havasu City. I just put Lake Havasu into Google and hit images, and you can look at pictures on your own there, but this gives you an idea of what Lake Havasu is known for. It's known for boating and having fun on the water, in the sun. It's like sunny pretty much every day of the year here, and people take advantage of it. They drive in from all over the place, they bring their toys, and they cruise around as fast as they get their boats to go up and down the river. They fish, they swim. Some people hunt. There's lots of entertaining that goes on here, and lots of different activities. From houseboats to girls to spring break, you name it, this place goes off. So I pulled up the tax website, mytaxcollector.com, to see what the taxes are on this particular property, and this year they are $26.72. That's twice a year, so that's a little over $50, $56, $57 a year. If you buy this property before this April 11th, 2016, I'm expecting you to pay this next tax bill, this $26.72, It's due on 4/11/2016. The next tax bill is due in December. I believe it's December 15th of 2016. And they might change the numbers on you over time, but this gives you an idea of where the taxes are starting out. They're pretty darn low for a 20-acre property that I believe you can get views of the river on. This is another map that goes to Las Vegas. You're about 2 hours from Las Vegas, 127 miles from Las Vegas. This is a map to Los Angeles. Hypothetically, if you live downtown Los Angeles and you wanted to get out of there for the weekend, you could go over here for a little over 4 hours, about a 4 hour drive out to the river and back. This could be a weekend trip, or if you're in Riverside or somewhere not downtown, it gets even shorter as you get closer. If you're coming from Phoenix, it's about it's less than 4 hours, 3 hour, 3:45 kind of drive, depending on the routes you take. A bunch of different routes to head up this direction. And if you're interested in this property or others like it, I have a subscribe section on my website. Put your name and email address in there. I've got a deal where you can get $100 off purchases for the rest of 2016. You get $100 off this purchase just by subscribing to my website, and I'll send you updates on new properties as I get them. So that's the property. I mean, I'm not 100% sure it's got a river view, but if we zoom in and look at it in Google Earth, it kind of looks like it. Let's see if I can figure this out. So you can kind of see the tracks in that wash there. That I think you can drive. I'm pretty darn sure you can drive that wash. So we might be sitting a little high, but this kind of gives you an idea. You're up on a hill overlooking the river. And maybe if you pick some of the high spots, like this one, I think is part of the property. If you built a house up there, or camped, or whatever you want to do, I think you'd be able to look at the river. Never been there to be sure, but it looks like you get river view from this property. It's your adventure to go there and find out. Go take a look at it. Be the first one there and get to understand there's a real good river view. You could take this thing and go sell it to someone else for a bunch more money. I believe this is probably the cheapest 20 acres you can get along the Colorado River. I'd be interested if you can find any cheaper or better ones. I think this is the cheapest one out there, and that's why I got my hands on it. That's why I'm offering it up for sale. Thanks for listening, guys.